Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the gun guy. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Look, I don't have a gun for you today because with all the tragedy that's happened in the last week, we had the tragedy over the weekend with the Orlando shooting, which is unspeakably horrible. And I think about what would happen if one of my kids had been there and been hurt. How devastated would we be? We've been praying for them a lot. I urge you to do the same. And if you're in the area and you can help, please go give blood, something. We can't do anything because we're in California, but if you happen to be in Florida and you can do anything to help those families, I urge you, please do so. And then, of course, prior to that, not so much a tragedy, but by any means, but and certainly not equal to the Orlando tragedy, but nevertheless, a loss that we had in court with the Peruta decision here in California with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, in which they decided against Ed Peruta and declared that the Constitution does not protect the right to keep and bear arms concealed. Well, that was never a question that was asked of the court in the first place. They were simply to address the fact that California does not allow the carrying of guns, period, except with a concealed carry permit. And if that's the case, they don't get to ban both open carry and concealed carry, and they need to issue the permits. That was the whole case. And obviously, it didn't go our way with the 11-judge panel. The 3-judge panel did figure it out, but the 11-judge panel overturned it. All right, well, so let's stop right there. Here's the point of this video. These things are not over till they're over. You know, like they say, don't you know, until the robust lady with the horned hat sings, the opera's not done. Okay, so a couple things I want to encourage you about as much as I can, even in the face of this really tough week. We're facing court battles ahead. We've got politicians using the tragedy over the weekend to attack gun owners and claim that somehow it's your fault and my fault that this whack job Islamic terrorist created so much mayhem and really, I mean, it killed so many people and devastated 100 and some odd families. That's a tragedy, and it has nothing to do with law-abiding gun owners. And so there's no reason to be blaming us. I mean, there's even I think one guy from the ACLU said it was Christians' fault. It was the fault of Christians in this country. Wait a minute, no Christian showed up and shot anybody. It was a Muslim guy who ISIS claimed credit for. So that's all silliness, but nevertheless, we have to battle that all the time. And I've gotten comments on my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, just about everywhere. I've had emails sent to me that essentially say, it's over, forget it. There's no reason to fight for this anymore. Why are we doing it? It's a stupid thing. I'm not even going to bother. Goodbye, California. You guys are toast. The heck with the Second Amendment. It's going to die. We can't save it, and all those kind of things. Okay, look. This is going to be a long and difficult fight, and we got to prepare for that. I know that in a lot of ways, the generation after mine has become the microwave generation, the internet generation. They want things to happen really quickly, but the fact is it's not going to. We didn't lose the rights we've lost quickly. We lost them incrementally over a period of time while we were sleeping, and then woke up one day and realized we'd lost a lot. Now we're going to have to get them back pretty much the same way. We're going to have to get them back one slog battle at a time. And we're going to win some and we're going to lose some. But the last thing we need is to discourage one another. The last thing we need is defeatism. The last thing we need is to give up. This is going to be a very long fight. So long, in fact, that we may never get our rights back in our lifetimes. I hate to say never, but I'm going to say, it might not happen in my lifetime. It may not happen in your lifetime, but I want it for sure to happen in my kids' lifetimes, in my grandchildren's lifetimes. And if that's what it takes, and I've got to sacrifice through this time so that future generations will have the Constitution fully restored, so that future generations will have their rights fully restored, then I'm willing to do it. And if I wasn't willing to do it, how can I call myself an American after hundreds of thousands of Americans have fought and died to give the ultimate sacrifice so that they could protect the very rights which we are now trying to restore? And if they were willing to die for that process so that future generations might have those rights and those freedoms, and all I have to do is endure the loss of them for a while and fight a very difficult battle, but I'm not risking my life, how can I ever say that I won't do that? So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to do that. I'm going to continue fighting. I may get discouraged there's no might. I will get discouraged from time to time, but I'm going to continue fighting, and I need you to encourage me. And I'm going to be here to encourage you. I will stand with you in this fight. I need you to stand with me. We got to stand together. So please, if you're that guy, or you're that gal, and you are really tempted to type, oh, it's over, it's, you know, and share that kind of stuff. I understand the feeling, I really do. I understand the discouragement, I really do. But the negativity doesn't help. It doesn't encourage anybody. It doesn't lift anybody up. And we should be lifting each other up, encouraging one another to fight. All right, the Peruta case. You know what? It's going to go to the Supreme Court. Right now, the Supreme Court is half liberal and half conservative, which means the current battle for the United States presidency is key right now. Before it ends up there, which is where it's going, we've got to make sure the right person becomes president so that that person will appoint a conservative justice to the Supreme Court, not a liberal. Now, I don't know what Donald Trump will do. I know what he's promised to do. And I'm going to take the man at his word because he's the only viable alternative at the moment to Hillary Clinton. And I know what she'll do, and you do too. She will submit nominee after nominee after nominee that are the most liberal, anti-Constitution justices she can find on the earth. And the first opportunity she gets, she will use that power to destroy the Second Amendment and destroy our Constitution. And that's the truth. That's what it is. So Donald Trump needs to be president. Whether you like him or not, whether you supported him initially or not, whether you had another candidate in mind and that person didn't win, and now you're all torqued about it, I get it, I understand. But you know what? At this point, he's the only viable alternative, and I'm going to strongly suggest that if that's you, you got to get over it and get behind him so that we can keep Clinton from becoming president. Now, if he doesn't work out, well, we've done our best. I understand. He's not perfect. I get it. It's a heck of a lot better than the alternative. And so we know what we'll get out of her. Let's go the other direction. And in the process, please, let's support one another. Let's stand up and fight together. I urge you to do that. And if ever you're feeling discouraged, you know what? Send me an email. I'll send one back to try to encourage you as best I can, because we cannot stop the fight. So keep fighting. Hang in there. And thank you very much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Have a great week to the degree you can with all the sad and difficult news. And prop yourself back up, pull up your boots again, and let's go fight. And in the process, be safe.